I'm Daniel, and I'm going to be doing my biography on Caroll Spinney. I was born on December 26, 1933 in Massachusetts to Chester and Margaret Spinney. I was named Caroll because I was born the day after Christmas. I was an only child who loved to draw and paint, and at a young age I knew that I wanted my career to be a cartoonist. However, when I saw my first puppet show, The Three Little Kittens, I knew that I had to become a puppeteer. I bought an old monkey at a yard sale and put on a puppet show and put up a sign that said "Puppet Show 2 cents." 16 people came to my first puppet show, and on Christmas of 1942, my mother had a large top over a gift that read "For Caroll." After I opened my other presents, my mother pulled away the top to reveal a brand new shiny puppet theater. I spent 4 years in the U.S. Air Force after high school and then returned to Massachusetts to break into television. I worked on Bozo the Clown's show for about $200 a day. I felt that Bozo's show was not what I was meant for. I quit and started my own show. I had an idea of how I can make my puppet show different and unique. I would make a short animation and project it onto my background. I now had a moving background. I created new puppets for my new show and created a cat named Picklepuss. Added my other puppets to make Picklepuss and Friends. I was performing anywhere that I could get into, and I got a gig at a puppet convention. I've been to this puppet convention before, and that's where I met Jim Henson. Jim Henson liked my puppet show and asked me to come to New York to talk. I was confused on what talk meant, so I never went to New York. Jim Henson was at the puppet convention again, where I was performing. When I heard about Jim Henson, I became nervous. I began my show as the animation was lighting up the background. Then, a bright stage light flushed out my animation. I was scared and kept thinking of what Jim was thinking of. Due to the light, the show ended early. Jim Henson wanted to talk to me after the show in the lobby. Jim told me how he was working on a new show and wanted me to play a big yellow bird and a grouch that lives in a trash can. When I went on to New York to try on my costumes, Oscar the Grouch was orange. Jim Henson decided to change Oscar to green before the second season of Sesame Street. Oscar explained this by going on vacation to the very damp swamp, Mushy Muddy, and turned green overnight. Caroll Spinney married Janice Spinney in 1960 and had 3 children. In 1971, after 11 and a half years of marriage, I divorced Janice due to the fact that Janice did not respect me, my work, nor my passion, puppeteering. 10 years after the first episode of Sesame Street, I fell in love with Deborah Jean Glory. After only a few dates with Deborah, I got on one knee and asked her to marry me. After Deborah said yes to Caroll, they were married at an outdoor wedding on August 4th, 1979 at 1 o'clock. I described my marriage with Deborah as the happiest years of my life. Me and Deborah had no children and were married until my death in 2019. Caroll Spinney died at his home in Kentucky on Sunday after living with a movement disorder. Big Bird is currently played and operated by Matthew James Bogle. Matt was born on October 6, 1970, and is an American puppeteer and a director. Matt has worked for the Sesame Workshop and the Muppet Studio. He has performed for the Muppets, Sesame Street, and Obie. Matt has been the performer of Kermit the Frog since 2017. The legacy that Caroll Spinney left affected people of all ages, all over the world. Caroll Spinney was getting a ton of fan mail by the second season of Sesame Street. Caroll's favorite letter was written by an adult thanking him for the impact Big Bird made on her youngest son, who was struggling with making friends. The mother heard the child crying, and when she ran into the room and asked what was wrong, her son said that his best friend Big Bird was sad. Another example of the impact that Caroll made during the episode Goodbye, Mr. Hooper. Caroll felt that the children watching the show had to learn the fact that everyone dies. In the episode, Big Bird gives his friends the drawings that he made. Big Bird asked where Mr. Hooper was so he could give him the present. Big Bird's adult friends explained that Mr. Hooper died and was not coming back. Miss Carol Spinney was an inspiration and affected the lives of countless children, and his legacy is everlasting. Thank you.